Tony D and Little Joan. I forgot to put Little Joan in the previous video. I forgot to turn on her camera. I'm having trouble with it, but I think it's okay. Anyhow, this is called Covert Games about the Kosovo War. Very interesting. Smash like and subscribe. Thank you for smash liking and subscribing. Check out my books. Links in the description. Comedy horror in South Jersey. It's what? It's the Pineys. Books 1 through 9 available at Amazon.com. So the premise is the Kosovo War is about to happen. I don't know how true the events are. It says based on true events, but you know. And the covert op has to hold out at an airport so the paratroopers can land. And I assume they're going to inflate the forces that we fought in Kosovo. Because I don't know if they had that much stuff, tanks. I think they had some. I don't know. I think they'll probably inflate the numbers a bit. But it is interesting that they're doing a movie about that war because people don't talk about it. And I like the attitude the filmmakers are taking towards war. They're making it very gritty. Very gritty. This is not a fun time. This is not an action adventure thing. This is very nasty. They're showing horrible images of people being threatened of all ages. Now, I don't know. They're probably going to. There's a lot to read about the Kosovo War. I don't want to go into it. There's always atrocities in war. Always. That being said, the Kosovo War was the first prototype of a media war. And it was overblown. The people we attacked, and or NATO attacked, I guess. I mean, they weren't nice people, but the end result is not a nice country now. You would not want to go to the Kosovo right now, from what I've read. From what I read, it's a pretty gangstery state where black market organ harvesting is a thing. So, but I compliment the filmmakers for trying to do a movie about a war that most people don't talk about anymore and promoting that. Now, if it's going to be a 90-minute commercial for why Bill Clinton was the greatest president ever, then maybe not. But if it's going to be a standard war epic, I mean, it looks like it has all the elements. So from that perspective, it looks like it could be an interesting movie. First act is probably going to be the situation in Kosovo. People were rounded up. They probably were not killed in the numbers that the media said, but people were killed. There's a lot of ethnic fighting over there for a lot of different reasons. It's been going on for hundreds of years. Anyhow, various factions are fighting it out. It's not a good time. And then there's a covert operator there, and they tell him to hold this airport because the United States or NATO are going in to do some shooting. So he has to hold the airport by himself, it looks like. Which, that sounds like a cool movie. That sounds like a cool premise. I mean, this is a setting that definitely there was a lot of conflict. You see him with the sandbags. He's probably got the place all wired up with booby traps. And he's got to hold out a certain amount of time. And, and his wife or girlfriend is very worried. And she's trying to save a baby in a hospital as they're bombing it. And so there's a lot of exciting things that happen. It's not glorious like, hooray. It's more like, whoa, ooh, kind of movie. So it's going to be pretty dark. But it is going to be pretty exciting. So, I don't know. I would see it. I'd be annoyed if the politics were too heavy-handed, but we'll see. Certainly the setup is there for this. Even though, again, the media probably exaggerated some of the stuff that was going on there. It wasn't like there was nothing going on there. Let me emphasize that. Oh, there were bad things on both sides there. Again, another war we shouldn't have been involved in, and we all got sucked into it and spent a ridiculous amount of money, I'm sure. So, This guy's got to defend the airport. So the first act is the terrible conditions there. Things are deteriorating. Second act, they tell him to defend the airport, and he decides he's going to do it. I'm not sure why, by himself. Maybe they think he can, hold out as long as you can, and terrible things are happening, and these people are terrible, so it's okay to kill them. That's the movie setup. So he does. And he, does that, holds off the guys, and does he die at the end? I don't know. It says based on true events. So if this was a real guy, then we'll find out what really happened to him, whether he was killed or not. Now, this is kind of a dark movie. He could be killed. It could be like so-and-so died, but he held out long enough so that we could come in and the paratroopers took the airport anyway, kind of thing. Could be that he holds out, paratroopers come, everybody's safe. Hooray. But later he was killed in the war. I mean, it's probably a dark ending. Probably not a happy, good time ending. Where they, go off in the sunset, hooray, we've saved Kosovo. That is probably not happening. I would be kind of shocked if that was the ending. So I would see this movie. I wouldn't go to the theater for it. Something I would stream. Something I'd put on a Sunday afternoon while I was, doing something. Let's put on this movie. This looks like it's got some action in it. If it was well plotted, maybe I'd get sucked into it and like, oh no, I'm going to watch the end of this before dinner. If I didn't, I'd be like, I got better things to do. So it looks like I'm kind of on the fence with this, but I mean, it doesn't look bad. Looks like there's going to be some action, but I can't emphasize enough that it's probably not going to be a happy movie. From the images I've seen here, I mean, you got little kids are involved. It's probably going to be a very dark and bloody movie. See all the blood on her? But I would also say, if you're interested at all about what actually happened, you should read about the time period from someplace other than Wikipedia. I recommend antiwar.com. That's when they started their site. And they have many things to say about the Kosovo War. And so for the filmmakers, hats off to you for doing a movie at a time. Look at this guy. Boom! He's flipped in the air. For doing a war movie set at a time that, even if it's a total propaganda piece, at least they picked a different time. At least it's not another World War II movie. You know what I mean? This requires at least amount of research even to be a propaganda piece. So anyhow, that's it for me, Tony D, and Little Joan. Check us out on Odysee, Bitchute, and Rumble for our more base takes. Oh, we got base takes galore. We got a Hollywoke hot take and a news blast today. So flip on over there, and we'll see you tomorrow.